Welcome back to another episode of The Voice of Reason. We are your hosts. I'm Jeremy Baker, and with me, as always, is Mike Foligno. Got a great show lined up for you guys. Mike, how was your week?
Good. I'm finally kind of getting over whatever the heck ate me alive from the inside last week. So if I start choking, I'm gonna mute really quick so you don't have to hear me drop dead. But
Okay, we appreciate
yep,
that. Yeah, we had a slight health scare. Mike thought he had the vid for a
yeah,
second. Luckily, we have you ever had COVID? Like, have you ever actually caught it?
once, yeah, back. Actually, well, I think I had it very early on. That's a story for another day. So I one confirmed, possibly twice. We'll see. I don't know.
I'm the same way. I think I had it very early on, and it was when I wasn't really paying attention to the news
Yep.
about it.
I think a lot of
And
people
I
had it
lost
early
my
on.
taste and smell for like 2 weeks.
That's it.
I
You had
thought
it.
I was having a freaking stroke. But
Yeah.
luckily my mom's a retired nurse, and she's like, "No, you idiot, you just have
Yeah.
COVID." I'm,
Yeah.
"Oh, cool. Great." I didn't know what that meant at the time. So,
What?
like I
Okay.
said, we got a great show lined up for you guys. But before we get into the topics,
Mm.
I would like to point out that the third quarter donation earnings have come in, and if you want to go
Ooh,
by the numbers, Biden is crushing everybody when it comes to raising money for the presidential campaign. He
that's
has so
weird.
far raised, I think it was 71 point some odd $1 million in just the third quarter. Donald Trump comes in second at a 45.5. But if you actually add all the GOP, I thought this was funny. If you add all the money the GOP made, all of the GOP candidates made in the third quarter of this year in donations, Biden has almost all of them beat combined, which I thought was
Yeah.
pretty epic here.
As with a lot of Democrats are raising, I should say outraising. Lauren Boebert is getting
Oh yeah,
trounced. A few other prominent, I'll say Republicans or MAGites are not raising as much money as they need to be, but we'll see. But
I
the
mean, what do
Biden
they
thing is
expect?
pretty impressive. Like that's the one that you care about the most to see what's going on, where people are putting their money. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal, and that's why I actually like this over watching like the polls, because polls are
Yeah.
biased depending on who they're asking and who's taking the
Yeah.
poll. You know what I mean? How they take the poll. So
How the
this
people who take the
shows who
whole
is
or if they could read.
voluntarily willing to give their hard-earned money to a presidential candidate.
Yep.
Now, the difference is though, like this is Donald Trump's means of raising money on Truth Social. Congratulations. You have won our $100 Trump Gold Bar. Claim your free gold bar now. Click, and you have to donate, of course.
You literally
Biden
couldn't pay
is
me to click
just,
that.
I know, who the hell wants a gold bar with Trump's face on it to begin
No,
with?
I don't want the virus that'll get downloaded on my computer as soon as I click that.
You know, that's right, because this donation site was hacked for a while there.
Yep.
So, but yeah, oh, I guess talking about Trump real quick, he has had a really bad day in the Letitia James trial,
Oh.
um, which we'll talk about in a different episode. But he decided late last night, and I'm sure an Adderall fueled rage, decided to leak Letitia James' address onto Truth Social. So, yeah, your legal strategy is to go ahead and release personal information about the attorney general overseeing your
Yeah.
financial future.
There's a phrase for that. It's called doxing. The FBI takes it very seriously. Well,
Yeah.
except in this case.
So we're not going to post her address or whatever, but it is
No.
a repost of Laura Loomer's Substack. And then it's just a bunch of bullshit. But see, here's what I don't this is why I don't like it when Trump does this, because he has tens of millions of supporters. All you need is a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent exactly to act out on this information. All you need is one psycho.
And they already have.
You know what I'm saying? You're exactly right. We're already seeing this shit, and I'm tired of it. I'm
Like, this is
sick
getting
and
scary.
tired of it.
Before, it was just like, we'll say political opponents, not really Nancy Pelosi's husband, some other people, whatever. This is now like, you can't get closer to interfering with your own criminal trial than that. You are now taking the actual, ADA or district attorney, and
Yeah.
posting her address. Like, let's just say, for sake of argument, you wanted to say something racist about her, which he has, or say that she's
Hmm.
incompetent. Fine, whatever, great. but posting her address serves no other purpose than for other people to know her address.
Exactly.
People sending DoorDash like freaking edible arrangements? No. So let's not go about Trump right now. We got to do a special.
No, but I would just add that he's about to turn his civil trial into a criminal trial.
Oh yeah.
By his own stupid ass words. So, all right, let's get into the show. So first we have Mr. Mike Lindell. Mr. Lindell just keeps on losing. And before we get into what he's going through now, this was a deposition that he gave in the defamation case, I believe it was. And this just, I find it amusing because
it shows his character.
No, they're not lumpy pillows. That's not what they call on. Okay. When you say lumpy pillows, now you're an ass. You got that? You're an ass. Is what you are. No, he's an ass.
He hurt my feelings.
That's what he tells the people calling about the lumpy
pillows. Kiss my ass. Put that in your book.
Right? Lumpy pillow, kiss my ass.
Anything, any problem customer that wants to reach Mike Lindell. Those are the ones. I want to talk to Mike Lindell. I want to talk to Mike Lindell.
No, they don't.
So wait a second. So he gives his... So you can get a hold of Mike Lindell directly through customer service. That's pretty.
They send them. We should do
that, right?
They call about maybe they didn't get their pillow right now time because of the FedEx or whatever. Well, we'll cover them, even though it could be somebody.
Look. What people need to understand if they haven't seen that video, which man, go watch that video a few times. It doesn't get old, but like that was the. Counsel literally just said, imagine if, I don't know, someone called customer service. Let's say they wanted to complain about a lumpy pillow. The guy wasn't saying your pillows are lumpy. Like, it was a hypothetical. And the guy, as usual, right, he's a right-wing MAGA guy, is the most triggered, sensitive little snowflake. And he blows up in a deposition, which, by the way, those are literally your legal words and actions. And facial patterns, if you will, because you look like a coked up squirrel. What are you doing? Act like an adult, but whatever.
You know what I understand about the whole situation? Like he's literally under he's going down for defamation. He's worried he gets pissed off about a lumpy pillow. Like
don't worry,
that's
brand.
Your worry. That's
like you're worried
your
at this
brand.
point.
You're worried about your pillows right now at this moment. You're an
Let me get this straight. Insurrection is perfectly acceptable, but no one shall call my pillows lumpy.
Right? Nobody will. The election was stolen, and my pillows are not lumpy. God damn it!
I just thought we probably can't call him because they're basically repossessing all of his equipment for his company because it's going bankrupt or has gone bankrupt.
You could buy a whole crate of my pillows right now. I think it comes out to like $1 a pillow.
Hey, we could do like a my pillow burning like they did for Barbie, but that would make us just as dumb as them. So let's not do that.
All right. Well, let's see what new kind of stuff Mr. Lindell has been getting himself into.
Lawyers defending the My Lumpy Pillow guy are seeking to dump him because of height. Apparently because he hasn't.
I love how they introduce him.
Straight face.
Going around in Trump circles.
It's a theme.
It is a theme.
Those attorneys are currently defending
Mr. Pillow.
My Lumpy Pillow founder and CEO Mike Lindell and his business against defamation claims from voting machine companies and Smartmatic and Dominion Voting Systems, along with a third lawsuit brought by a former Dominion employee.
Oh, that's
All
right.
three claimed their reputations were damaged by Lindell's repeated claims of fraud surrounding the 2020 presidential election. But now, attorneys for Lindell claim he is months behind on paying their legal bills, amounting to millions of dollars.
But wait, there's more.
He's becoming his own infomercial.
He is. It's like every time something happens. But wait, there's more. Oh, my God. It just doesn't get any better than that. This is a man who had his head so far up with Donald Trump's ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what you get.
Still does.
Yeah, everybody, I don't see how people don't see it. Like everybody that gets associated and attaches himself to Donald Trump at some point goes down. Giuliani, this guy. I mean, we can name, what was the General Flynn? Like all these people that have had these high positions and now nothing. This guy ruined his entire company and sacrificed all of his employees' well-beings and lifestyles and livelihoods to promote a lie that he knew was a lie.
I saw him. I don't know if he was on today or he was whatever with Steve Bannon, and he was talking about how like he's ready to, go bankrupt because for what he believes in. And he actually says, and this is the part that scares me, he said, and my employees know what we're fighting for, and they're okay with this. And I'm thinking to myself, there's two options. One, your employees are maggot-infested lunatics just like yourself, so they think that losing their job is okay. Or you're just lying and going to put a bunch of people out of business because you're a conspiracy nut, an actual nut. Let's face it, this guy had no position of any official authority, responsibility in the Trump administration, but he crept around there like he was a specter haunting the halls. And when it comes down to it, this guy decided to start defaming these companies and these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like it was an official job of his, like his lawyers or some of his other scumbags. This guy just glommed on to Trump and was like, yep, this stuff sucks. You're in trouble. And now he's facing the consequences. You are a garbage business owner who doesn't care about his employees and threw all of that away, all of your success, just for Donald Trump for nothing in return. And you still believe it.
He's the type of person, he probably thought that if Donald Trump got back into the White House, he would somehow get some kind of high-ranking position like all the other
people. The cabinet of pillow fluffer?
Yeah,
but you're right. No, you're right, though.
There could be a betting and pillow department within the United States. Mike Lindell run it. But, it's just a joke. It's all a joke. It
is.
You know what? He's in the finding out portion of fucking around.
Well, this was the really summer of FAFO, so.
Really? I know, right? FAFO should be like, instead of MAGA, it should just be FAFO. Because these people keep effing around and finding out the hard way. And they don't listen. They
do it to themselves. And they out. Yeah, they love it. They march headfirst into their own demise with a evil, stupid grin on their face.
You know what? I don't even feel sorry for them.
MAGA tears taste the sweetest.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on. I'm tired of talking about him.
He'll be back.
Mr. George Hector Rivera, whatever his name is, Santos.
If that's his real name.
Yeah, right. We don't even know at this point. Has more problems. 23 more charges.
23.
Which we'll talk about in a second. But I want to play a clip real quick. And this is from back when we found out George Santos was complete bullshit. After he got elected, we found out everything about him was a lie. This is from, I think, I can't remember.
Came to the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yeah, because I was the first openly gay Jewish Republican Latino to walk on the moon. Do you have a problem?
and you're also, you're also on the Small Business Committee, even though, as far as I know, you have no experience running a small business.
Look, I'm very busy right now. I'm running late for my appointment with my gynecologist.
What's your gynecologist's name?
Yeah, his name is Dr. Santos.
wait, isn't Santos your name?
Oh, right.
Okay, Congressman, you've been accused of lying about a lot of things.
Just name 10.
Okay, well, how about the pyramid scheme in Florida you deny having any knowledge of? What do you say about that?
Whoa. Pyramid scheme is an offensive term. Okay, my people actually built the pyramids when they were slaves.
Okay. All right, now back to the serious part of this. This is what George Santos has been up to for real.
Congressman George Santos is now being accused of stealing from his own donors, as if his already alleged criminality wasn't bad enough. Now, here are the new accusations against Santos, which we're learning about thanks to a new surprising indictment that was filed just today by federal prosecutors. U.S. Attorney Breon Stacy Peace said in a statement that Santos is charged with stealing people's identities and making charges on his own donors' credit cards without their authorization,
what are you doing?
Lying to the FEC and, by extension, the public about the financial state of his campaign. Santos falsely inflated the campaign's reported receipts with non-existent loans and contributions that were either fabricated or stolen.
Okay, you know what this tells me? This guy, we already know he's an extreme liar. He makes up everything. We still don't know anything about him. But the specificity and the ballsiness of these crimes tell me it's not like he just started doing this. Like, this is a guy who is a professional grifter, a professional thief, a professional scumbag. This is the type of guy that's like, leaning over your shoulder at an ATM. Like, what are you're stealing? Like, you're good. If you charge someone else's credit card, that's called a paper trail. I don't know if he knows that.
Right? It's all electronic. I mean, these guys.
There's a thing that money laundering exists. He's not even money laundering. He's just like, I'm taking your money and I'm going to leave a receipt that told you I took it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand. Like, my thing is, how did he get all the way to Congress? Like, he climbed his way to the top.
There is no vetting process. I'm sorry.
That's what I mean. Like, on the right. Okay, so like if you go to a normal job, for most people that don't know, they do background checks and work history checks.
Yeah.
Had they done any of that on George Santos at all while he was campaigning, he never would have gotten elected.
Oh, this guy doesn't exist.
But I swear that the Republicans and the MAGA Republicans especially don't know that Google exists and don't know that eventually that we will find out. Like Lauren Boebert recently was just found out for spending donor money at her date's bar. From the
but I thought that was their first date when she was feeling him up in the movie theater. That's weird.
Well,
maybe that was their first date
at
out.
Bar, so it was a good date. Good expensive date.
What's the word I'm looking for? They are spectacularly garbage criminals. And I'm not bringing one person into it for any other reason than to point out the spectrum of it. You go from Trump down to Santos, and every level, these people are bad. There's not one of them that's good at being a criminal. They're all on tape. They all leave paper trails. They all do it so flagrantly because I think in general, we've come to accept that our, quote, ruling class literally can get away with whatever it wants because no one ever just lifts up the rock that they slither out from every once in a while to go campaigning. Just vet these, but like you said, background check. My God, they're going to have background checks to buy 3D printers, which we should do a show on, by the way. But I mean,
really,
you're going to have a background check to buy a 3D printer, but you can get to Congress by just, submitting your fee for putting in the application and hopefully you get enough votes. That's all it is.
I mean, none of his background is even true. None of it.
None of it. Who is he?
Not even a little bit. That's what I mean. Like it would be like if he embellished some stuff, that's like normal.
Like I'm not
people
saying
do that to look better, but like
everyone
it's
who
not
submitted
even remotely true. Like he had what was the one? A volleyball scholarship to college. Shut the fuck up. Volleyball scholarship.
Like, well, I'm saying this not in any offensive way, and I know that usually sounds like what happens when you're about to say something offensive, but hear me out. That picture of him that is unconfirmed, that was of him in drag in Brazil, which I'm sorry, is him or his twin. I think that was actually him, and he's doing like, I forget what the drag kings. This is him in drag. That's what I think.
You go to Brazil and that's all you see.
Like they'd never know. Like they would. Yeah, this is him. Like George Santos coming to a theater near you. That's his.
Yeah.
Because this is a performance, right? I don't know if we have some other videos of him just flipping out into rages, but oh yeah, we do. And like it's all performative. It's all performative. There's no substance behind any of it.
No, and then here's Mr. Santos. I'm assuming some of this has to do with cracking under the pressure of his fresh indictments. This was him flipping out in the halls of Congress.
He lost.
Very professional.
Next time he tries to accost me with a child in my hand, I want him out of here. He's an animal.
Out of here.
He's gonna throw that child at
me. Fucking terrorist.
Who?
You can go look at the video.
Mr. Santos, who?
What happened?
Congressman Santos, who?
The gentleman back there is a terrorist sympathizer that has no business in this building. What is happening in
Did you just call a terrorist sympathizer a gentleman?
Israel is abhorrent. What is happening to the people of Israel should not be defended.
You saw there on that open of yours, Steve, was me reaching my tipping point when this man tells me,
look at how mad
F that baby. What about the babies in Palestine? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, look at the
I
corner.
don't
Look
care.
at the corner.
What
Look
is
at the bottom left corner?
What
is
is
Lindell TV?
Oh my God. Oh my God, that's a thing.
Show, by the way. And with a cross in it. Oh,
Palestine and Gaza, they've been brewing hate and fomenting
that.
terrorism for decades. They breed.
Oh, this guy.
Look, we're going to get into his faux outrage and what that is stemming from in a moment. But look, there's not much I could say about what he just said that doesn't take us to the next topic. But what I'm going to say is what I've said 1,000 times. I'm going to say 1,000 more times. Every single Republican is a performative grifter. Okay, they are just trying to appeal to whoever is the most extreme and will believe whatever soundbite they hear to get their votes and tells them who to hate. That's what that was. That's all this is. That's
Dude,
my
I'm so glad you said that, because we talk about it all the time. All these people want is clicks and likes and performances on the Steve Bannon show or other right-wing media outlets like Fox or OAN or whatever the other.
They're all the same.
That's all they want. They do not want to govern. I mean, obviously, today's vote in the House pretty much proves that. They haven't done a damn thing in the last 8-9 months since they've been somewhere in the office. That's all they want. They're padding their fucking pocketbooks and their wallets as much as they can. So if they don't get elected again, who gives a shit? Now I'm filthy rich. I can enjoy the rest of my life. That's all they care about. They do not care about the American people. And they're all trying to appease one man, Donald Trump, who is the puppet master, kind of pulling everybody around out there.
Shit puppet master.
Yeah, right. Diaper Donnie. Gotta love that guy, right?
I guess.
Dude, he gives me so much material. I mean, you know.
Look, it's funny. I didn't read it because it was like not something that would tell me anything I needed to hear, but it was some article about, has Donald Trump been the greatest gift to media? Yes. Like, that's not, I'm not going to click on your article for the answer that is the most obvious answer in the history of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what he is. He was only ever a media guy, and that's what George Santos is echoing. You look at him, he was acting just like Donald Trump would. You pick the spot to fake the outrage, that becomes the soundbite, and your little media outlet just disseminate. Oh, look at how impassioned he was to stand up for Israel. I'm not making a point on who he's standing up for now. I'm just saying it doesn't matter who it is. Oh, look, they're trying to ban gas stoves. Whatever the hell it is,
right?
They just
whatever.
Oh my God.
You're right. The faux outrage is utterly insane. Like, remember Ted Cruz getting mad about how many beers a week you're supposed to drink? Like, come on, just stop it with your snowflake alpha male bullshit.
That guy has ever had a beer.
I know, right? He was probably hammered after that commercial. Like, hey, guys.
Oh my God, guys. Dude, that was iced tea. It was fake. Shut up.
Yeah, we gave you a non-alcoholic beer, sir. Shit.
I'm going to go to Florida.
So I guess the next topic is very, very touchy across the country, across the world right now. And it is, of course, the invasion of Israel and then Israel retaliating against Hamas, or as Donald Trump would say, Hamas. He said it multiple times. Donald Trump thinks they were attacked by Hamas.
Well, it's
so
not ketchup, so it might be attacking them.
I wonder what kind of hummus it was. Anyway, let's play the first video and then we'll get into this topic.
Played through the night and into the early morning. This video, taken by one of the organizers at 6:28 a.m., shows the sizable crowd still dancing carefree.
There goes my dog.
The celebration became a hunting ground for Hamas. As dawn broke, video taken by a festival goer appeared to show objects approaching from the sky.
Could you imagine?
They'd later find out they were Hamas paragliders. New video released by Hamas showing their militants training on the paragliders before the attack. Within minutes, festival security guards are seen urging people to flee. Video shows hundreds of people abandoning the party as gunshots ring out around them. Terror overwhelming this woman as she runs from the gunfire. In another video, people are seen hiding from attackers in the bushes nearby. Amid the gunfire, a group taking cover and desperate attempts to save lives, tying a tourniquet around a bloodied leg. This dashcam video found by Israeli first responders showing a person lying on the ground being executed at point-blank range.
No good they don't show it, but it's still disturbing. Now, real quick, the reason I want to address the Israel part first, of them invading Israel, is because of what they did in their orders that they had. And I managed to come across several interviews of captured Hezbollah soldiers, and they were given specific orders to rape women and children. And they were told, I know you guys think I'm making it up, but they were told to dirty them, which is not exactly a commonly used phrase. They targeted and surrounded that festival from three sides. Those people almost had nowhere to go. So they systematically went and targeted civilians, and then it's just unnecessary violence on all sides. It is, again, it's all about, like you said before, it's religion. I mean, they hate one another because of religious preferences, but at the same time, now Israel is bombing the shit out of Hamas.
Look,
they told everybody to evacuate, and keep in mind, all these civilians are dying because of the actions of a few extremist assholes.
Yep.
That attacked, raped, and assaulted women and children, and took hostages.
Yep.
Executed people, beheaded people. I mean, there's no need to sympathize with somebody like that. Now, the Palestinian people now are the ones suffering, as a result of Hamas, and that's unfair. I think they have to suffer. But that's war. The war. Who suffers the most during war? Civilians. Any war you look at, the civilians are the ones that don't participate, the ones that can't run. I mean, where are they going to go from the Gaza Strip? They're like evacuating. The one is like, where the hell do we go?
Yeah, where? I mean,
it's an open air prison for the most part.
Yes, it is. So what I hate is that this is called a war. Okay. And I'm going to try not to be too long in the tooth, and I'm not going to get philosophical about it. But my point that I'm going to try and get to is this isn't a war. This is a continued exercise in terrorism and messaging on both sides. Now, was there in this moment in time an instigator that was 100% wrong and is indefensible? Yes, that's what Hamas did. But it's not like there's never been conflict there. This isn't the first time this has ever happened on either side. This is the latest example of it. And the reason I say that it's not a war and that it's an exercise in continued terrorism is, I'll give you an example of something that I got duped into today. I made a post because there was a hospital that had about 500 people killed in it. It was a children's hospital. We're talking children, doctors, nurses, families, patients, whatever. Now, that's a war crime, okay? We all understand that when Putin does it to Ukraine, that's a war crime. It's evil. So it looked like all the reporting was leading that it was Israel that attacked it. That would be a war crime, okay?
Right.
But now it's been coming out, and I believe I am going to have to take my post down because it looks like it's being more and more confirmed that Hamas was taking up positions inside the hospital, and that the rocket that hit the hospital was actually one of their shitty, probably garbage Russian rockets that backfired and then fell back into the hospital and killed all those people. Now, who do you believe? Do you believe the first group for the first half of the day or the second half of the day? That's where the whole media part comes in, and it's constant terrorism. But now you have terrorists taking up positions in hospitals so that knowingly, if Israel attacks them back, they could say, look, Israel just attacked, and rightfully so if they did do it. Look, they just attacked a children's hospital, but you just set yourself up there. But you also set yourself up there because you knew that they would do it. Now, they didn't do it. They did do it. I don't know who to believe anymore because you can't know anything because this has been going on so time. This isn't a little skirmish. This isn't a war. This is a religious crusade on both sides of people trying to eliminate each other, and it's getting old. And people are suffering. People always suffer, like you said. The people are the ones who suffer during war, whatever we call it.
Yeah, totally agree there. Let me go ahead and play our next video, a little bit of footage of what's going on.
Caught the moment an Israeli rocket slammed into an apartment building in Gaza Thursday.
It's insane.
The Israeli military says it's dropped 6,000 bombs on the Palestinian territory since Saturday.
Imagine just being in like a car
there will be no
or in your
pause to allow in aid
and then
until Hamas releases more than 100 hostages
the building next
taken
door
in the
is
initial
gone.
attack. Yeah. Civilians in Gaza are paying the price. Hospitals filled with bloodied children, families searching through body bags for loved ones, and the humanitarian crisis is growing. Israel has blocked all food, water, fuel, and electricity from going in, and more than 2 million people are not allowed out.
They keep saying leave the Gaza Strip. Where to? They want everything.
I mean, that itself is a war crime / tactic, right? Funnel the people, you kill more people. So who's right? I don't know anymore.
It's hard. It's easy for us to pick apart the different clips that we see throughout the day and make our own judgments. But these people are in a living hell right now.
Yep.
And honestly, I mean, from Israel's standpoint, what else are they supposed to do?
I don't know. Like, you can't do nothing, right?
Continuously attack them over and over again. the only way to get rid of them, obviously, is to just wipe them out completely. I mean, I don't like to say that, but at the same time, these terrorists, these extremists, they're not going away. They're not going to play nice. Okay, they're the ones that sneak into your country and rape women and children. You know what I mean?
And I'm going to interrupt you just for 1 second, because the only reason they have to sneak into the country is because they don't have any backing. They're not a country that has other countries and organizations giving them money. I mean, maybe like North Korea and Russia, but like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but Israel is well funded to carry on a sustained assault, ground, air, whatever. They don't have to resort to terrorist attack tactics.
No, Israel, people don't know this, but Israel has one of the most highly trained and advanced militaries in the freaking world. Their special forces soldiers are not to be messed with.
Yep.
I mean, they rival our top, special forces.
We go to train with them.
Yeah, I mean, they're no joke. So, I mean, hopefully this isn't a long sustained war where thousands or tens of thousands of civilians suffer the consequences of a handful of terrorists. But I feel bad for the people on both sides. I mean, war is
hell.
Shit. I mean, war is shit. It's all war does is destroy. It doesn't bring
by
peace.
definition. War isn't a negotiation.
No, war doesn't bring peace. War brings temporary periods of peace until the next war. You know what I mean? Until you wear your opponent down to nothing, piss them off. They go into the shadows until they rise up again. That's how war does.
I can't believe you said those words. Look at the banner.
Like, screw you. Yeah, exactly.
War is not going to bring you peace. Because what war does is you either kill every one of your opponent, or eventually you've killed enough of them that they just surrender and then hate you for the rest of their lives and teach their children to hate you. Those are the only outcomes of war. That's it.
I'm tired of it. Honestly, I'm tired of seeing the war. I'm tired of seeing the extremism, and I'm really tired of people fighting over freaking religion, for crying out loud.
Yep.
Who cares? But this is, it's a hotbed of religious activity over there.
They've been fighting over this bullshit for thousands of years. It's not.
Yeah, and I'm not a religious person, so I'm not going to pretend to know what it's like to be okay with dying for your God. So, not going to pretend like I know that feeling.
I would die for my dog and my wife. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. My family and my dogs. You had to mention dogs. I have to throw the dog in there. So hopefully this resolves itself. Hopefully the House gets a speaker soon so they can at least start to put together funding packages and aid for Israel.
Well, it's important to note
being done.
It's important to know Biden went over there to try and make sure aid is getting to Palestinian civilians, because Israel is going to get their aid once the Republicans get their shit together. But Biden actually went there essentially on a mercy mission to go, okay, but like, you got to take care of those kids also.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about Biden. Like, he's an actual, I would call him like more of a humanitarian than
he's a diplomat, presidents. Actually. He's very much more of a diplomatic type politician.
Like, if you had to compare Biden to Trump, all right, Biden is like that old grandpa that you can't wait to see on the holidays.
Yeah. Sometimes he rambles. All right, grandpa.
Yeah, he stutters a little bit, might have a trip up here and there, but Donald Trump is like the uncle that nobody likes that comes over, gets really drunk, and then starts touching people inappropriately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and then Donald Trump, all he does for Israel is talk about him on Truth Social.
Well,
after he gets done telling about how Hamas is very smart.
Yeah. Let's not forget. We want to talk about the Middle East, right? Because all the Republicans, including Trump, are trying to pretend somehow that this is Biden's fault. Who was the one that agreed to the rapid Afghan withdrawal that Biden had to hold to? Oh, that's right, Donald Trump. Who was the one that left the Iranian nuclear deal? Oh, Donald Trump. So anything that happens in the Middle East that is escalating and getting out of control isn't even an opinion. It is not my opinion. These are facts of history that Donald Trump took credit for and now pretends he didn't take credit for, but he did these things.
I'll even add one to that. Who's the one that shared sensitive intelligence from Israel with, was it Russia?
He literally bragged about that.
In the Oval Office, I think it was, too.
How do you brag about treason?
I know.
Fascinating.
I mean, one of this dude's first acts while president was disclosing top secret information, and he shouldn't have. What a joke. Anyway, all right, moving on. So Carrie Lake, apparently, because she lost her bid for Congress, now thinks that she is qualified to run for Senate, which I think is weird because she keeps saying eventually they're going to crown her the governor.
Yeah, you don't get to be both. Are you giving up the one, or are you hedging your bets? What is it?
So, of course, and she was staying at Mar-a-Lago for a short period of time, sucking up to Donald Trump. I don't know. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Melania remembers that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Here's Donald Trump endorsing Carrie Lake. And the video is mostly about Donald Trump.
It's great to be with you tonight and with your next United States Senator, Carrie Lake. I wish I could be there with everyone, but I'm busy on the campaign trail and fighting off all of the bad people. And we're running for president. We're doing really well. We're leading every poll by a lot. In fact, record numbers. And when I'm back in the White House, I need strong fighters
he said her name.
He said her name.
She's a fighter. She's strong and she's good. She's got a great heart, by the way.
Fighter, strong.
For 4 incredible years, my administration brought historic peace.
All he said about her so far is she's a fighter and she's got a good heart.
To America. And in 3 awful years, crooked Joe Biden has sent our nation on a tragedy to hell. He's the worst president we've ever had. He's the most corrupt president we've ever had, and he's the most incompetent president we've ever had.
I would like to argue that one.
Just once. Yeah, just 1 point. Yeah. I don't know.
Donald Trump has had some recent gaffes saying that the Republicans eat their young.
I think he meant it. I don't think it was a gaffe.
Actually, I think it's a saying. It's Republicans
eat their own or something like that. Like
eat their own. That's what it is.
It's like the snake eating its own tail. Yeah,
right. But he goes, no, Republicans eat their young, and then and then he says it again. They didn't even correct him. They're like, I'll just go with it.
People were saying that like it was the teleprompter, but I think it was you that pointed out that it was something that was posted, and then he read it. So like he knew what he was reading.
Oh, what Donald Trump does on Truth Social, okay, in case anybody hasn't picked up on this, and he doesn't do it on every post because the guy posts like a crackhead.
Yeah, it's
with an iPhone. I mean, seriously, it's like almost. He's like
it's impressive. I'm not gonna lie, it's impressive.
Every once in a while, he'll put this big long post, and then eventually he'll make a video where he just reads that same exact post. I didn't know this. I didn't even realize this, but he does this shit all the time. And now that I've noticed it, I can't stop unnoticing it. So yeah, he'll type it and be like, "Oh shit, that's good. Now I'm gonna say it." The only thing I can think of is maybe it's for his followers that can't read, because I have to assume there's a lot of them. So maybe he makes the video just to help them out as a courtesy.
It's a kindness.
It is Donald Trump being kind. He's trying.
He is the most loving, kind, decent president we've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. That guy is awful. My God,
he's an entire bag of dead clowns.
He really is. I can't believe that we still have to deal with this guy. But you know what? This is like the cult behavior. Like Carrie Lake, she is so far up Donald Trump's ass, and to a point where she wanted to be his vice presidential nomination.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine Donald Trump and Carrie Lake as president and vice president? Access to nuclear weapons and the world's most powerful military. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Oh my God. But you're right though. Like Carrie Lake is no different than a Marjorie Taylor Greene, no different than a Lauren Boebert, no different than any of the other ones. And I only point out the two women because it's like the three of them vying to be his number 2 woman, right? You got Melania because that's his wife and he loves her dearly and he treats her like a goddess. And then you have the women that are like trying to fight to get into not only Mar-a-Lago, but possibly his pants and certainly his cabinet, if not the vice presidency. But guess what? He might actually pick one of them, assuming he gets that far. But you don't know what he's going to do, because if there's anything he did learn, if he's capable of any fundamental acquiring of knowledge, it's that he didn't go extreme enough. He didn't have enough people that were blindly loyal. What do you think he's been doing these 3 years? He's been rewarding giving pats on the back, collecting the most extreme, absolutely shameless lunatics from the party that he can get. So that if he gets in there again, he could just plop in all his little shit puppets, and then he's good to go. Well, you know who you need to have? A lead shit puppet, and they're all dumb enough to be his fall guy. They'll fall right on the sword with a smile on their face.
Yeah, so she's got to compete against. See, I don't think Carrie Lake stands a chance to be vice president because I don't think Donald Trump picks everybody based on their looks. Look at his lawyers; he picks attractive people. So, I mean, Carrie Lake doesn't stand a chance. She looks like a 12-year-old boy. She looks like the next door neighbor from Married with Children. I can't remember her name.
Nope. I'll think of it.
I don't remember. I'm sorry, but no. And this woman is not a politician. Okay, she used to be on television in Arizona.
She's like Marjorie Green or Boebert. They're just nobodies.
Yeah, they're like she was like a television anchor or news, whatever. So then she thought she could be governor, lost that, and still hasn't. You know, she's still suing.
She's still fighting it.
She's trying. So
she's fighting to still be governor so that she could be senator and hope to be vice president.
I think it was like 6 months. I wish I had the picture. Like 6 months after she lost the election, she was running around with a zip up like fleece jacket on. It said Carrie Lake governor. How pathetic is that, man? Like
it's
seriously.
Almost as pathetic as still using the presidential seal when you are not the president anymore.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous too. But I mean, these people are nuts.
They're insane.
There's election deniers, insurrection organizers.
It goes to show how deeply they hate what we're trying to preserve here. They're not people who fundamentally believe in democracy. They're people who fundamentally believe in doing whatever you can to get for yourself. That's it. They don't care about their own families. They don't care about, certainly not their voters. They don't care about this country. They don't care about democracy. They don't care about anyone's babies. Okay. What they care about is saying and doing and grifting whatever they can for themselves. There's no ounce of service or civics or civic duty in them at all.
It's a joke. It's a giant joke, but it's just for her to keep her grift alive, because the longer she can keep these people strung along, it's like, you know how they always say, well, in 2 weeks, they always say 2 weeks. In 2 weeks,
2 weeks, yeah,
we're going to give you evidence. It's going to be a bombshell. We've got whistleblowers. And 2 weeks goes by. They're like, okay, 2 more weeks. Yep. 2 more weeks. So we're going to have evidence this time, and it's going to be a bombshell. And it's like, just stop. Or
there must have
all credibility.
There must have been a focus group that figured out that 2 weeks is the exact amount of a stupid voter goldfish brain, because it worked. Right. Because it absolutely worked. Because
it's been working for 9 months, man.
For not even for 4 years since the day he entered that office. 2 weeks. So think about how many 2 week spans there are in a 4-year term, and every time he spoke, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
You know, I wish we had the resources and the funding that I could spend more time just doing video edits. I want to make a video edit of all the things that Donald Trump has said he was going to do on his first day in office. The list is staggering. He has said if there was like a 300-hour day, maybe he could accomplish all those things on the first day. But like this guy, the whole party's a joke. They've lost all credibility. They've lost control. There's no there's no unity at all on the Republican side of this equation. They are infighting. There's the vote for speaker proved it, that they're not going to unite under one person unless it's, you know, whoever they pick. And I don't think they're going to be able to vote for somebody. I still think Liz Cheney has a chance of becoming the Speaker of the House. I know we're getting off topic, but I'm just kind of throwing that in there because I hope it happens. That would, oh my God, Trump would have an aneurysm.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I know it wasn't going to happen, but there was a brief moment while watching the tally of the votes, and I know you did too, because you're as crazy as I am. You watched that entire stupid ass vote.
I did, man.
I thought Hakeem Jeffries might become Speaker, and I knew he wasn't gonna. But I forgot who I was watching, and I think it was Ben Meiselas on Midas Touch, and he was saying
I was watching the same thing you were watching at the same time.
The 15 shitty, pathetic attempts for McCarthy to become Speaker, he only ever got like 8 others, which are no votes, right?
Right.
Jim Jordan, okay, who's never passed a bill, never done anything in his 17 years in Congress. We can go about into his other things, right? afterwards on another day.
Mm-hmm.
But this man, he did something brilliant in his career for the first time. He got 20 Republicans to give him the middle finger on an official record. That's amazing. 20 people were like, yeah, not Jim Jordan. No.
So I find
Screw
it
this guy.
amazing that the GOP's all right. So the leaders of the Republican Party, let me get this straight. Donald Trump, who's obviously just the biggest fraud in the world and only cares about himself, wants to destroy democracy. And then the Speaker of the House, which is what, second and third in line to the presidency?
Third, yeah.
I can't remember.
You're going to have an insurrection.
Is a guy who has spent his entire congressional career without ever getting a bill put into law. How do you go that long without ever getting a bill passed into law?
Like, just co-sign one. Co-sign one.
Anything. I mean, the
just
guy, and this
take
is
a lunch order.
Pick. Let's see. This guy has been absolutely not productive for 17 years. Let's give him the speaker position. It's just
and he's going to win. He's going to win re-election in 2024. I guarantee it. Well, the district he has looks like a fish hook. It's so gerrymandered.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of places getting hit for I guess they call it bleaching.
Yeah,
bleaching their maps. So,
but you know what? He's another guy. Well, let me take a different stance. I don't know if he's worse or better than a Carrie Lake, right? We're trying to keep a focus on Carrie Lake, just picking and choosing where she's going to grift from. But you have a guy like Jim Jordan, who's been a shitty Republican his whole career. Maybe he was under the radar. I'm sure he was, doing shifty things we don't know about. But when it came time for insurrection, he was all on board, man. He put the hat on, he got the jersey, he was ready to go. So he's always been a scumbag. You look at a Carrie Lake, and man, is she an opportunist. Like you said, she was be a news anchor. Great. That's a great job. But then I don't know how you necessarily go from news anchor to governor or news anchor to senator or news anchor to vice president. So at least Jim Jordan put the time in. I don't know if I'm giving him a compliment or not, but like,
it's America, man. Anything's possible. Lauren Boebert went from sex worker to congresswoman.
Alleged.
You never know.
Alleged.
As long as you sleep with the right person, anything can happen in America.
Man or woman, we are not being misogynist. Man or woman, whoever you want to bang to get to the top, that's your business.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. If I could bang my way to the top, I probably would. Okay, so
isn't that what OnlyFans is without the banging?
I know, yeah. All right, so my next is probably my favorite topic of the week or this show is Mr. RFK Jr. Now, the Republicans are freaking out now because he decided to go from Democrat to independent. Donald Trump is mad. I mean, Donald Trump used to say all kinds of good things about his body and he's talk all these good things about him. And the problem is, and see, the weird thing is I never considered RFK Jr. A Democrat, especially. I'll show this clip first.
Yeah.
This is him talking about. This is his COVID conspiracy.
I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years.
Is he? Yeah, did he just say he's an expert on bioweapons?
He said, I wait, did he say that? Whatever.
All right, we got to start this over. We got to start it over. Hold on.
We need to talk about bioweapons. I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years. The technology that we now have to develop these we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes that are most immune to COVID-19 because of the structure of the genetic structure, genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the H2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people.
So wait a minute. It's targeted to attack Caucasians and black people, yet overwhelmingly the most people that died from it were Chinese.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know what's funny though is this conspiracy. I think I know what the origin is. There used to be a show, and I went over this. I think on probably Paul's show. There's a show out there called Utopia It was on Amazon. I don't know if it's on there anymore. There's two versions. There was an American version that was like last year, year before, but the one from 2013 was about this bioengineered virus that they went out that was supposed to target, you know what I mean? This mad scientist created this weapon that would target specific races. It's literally the same plot.
Is he one of those people that doesn't know that like not all TV isn't like news? Like, does he not know what fiction is?
I swear. And I'm all right. Here's another example. The one I think is the funniest, and this has nothing to do with RFK Jr. But Donald Trump has recently been saying about whales they're beaching themselves from the sound of the wind turbines, or they're causing the whales to beach. It's disturbing them. So I looked into it, and I swear this is where they got it from. But apparently, the people in the country of Wales have been complaining about the sound from the wind turbines, and I'm pretty sure somebody told Donald Trump that whales and wind turbines, and that's all he heard. And now he's going around telling them that they beach whales.
Someone should tell him that whales eat hummus, so he thinks that we should kill all the whales to stop the terrorists. Or we should use the Jewish space laser that Marjorie Taylor Greene knows.
This whole, and you know what, I think the funniest part, because if anybody watched RFK Jr.'s launch, the first thing he did was growl.
Yeah, launch.
He, like, he sounded like DMX
on
for
the
a
launch
second.
pad. That thing blew up on the launch pad.
Let me go ahead and play this clip real quick.
Oh, you actually
this morning for the country's most famous political dynasty.
I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who entered the presidential race in April with a long-shot bid as a Democratic candidate, now embracing the role as a potential third-party spoiler.
Come on.
The Democrats are frightened that I'm going to spoil the election for President Biden.
No,
Republicans are frightened that I'm going to spoil it for President Trump.
That is true.
The truth is, they're both right. My intention is to spoil it for both of them.
But
the controversial candidate facing an uphill climb, currently trailing far behind the frontrunners in both parties. But given he's polling at 14% in one recent survey, Kennedy's entry into a tight race could shift the dynamics just enough in key swing states to make a difference. The question is, for who? Well, he's been running as a Democrat. Recent polls show his favorability is actually higher among Republicans.
That is some contrast.
Backfire right in your face. And I love every second of it. They spent so much time and money building this guy up just for him to turn around. And because
Trump did too.
As a Democrat, he would have been voted for. He would have taken votes away from Biden.
100%.
Some people just vote for the party and they don't vote for Biden. They didn't want to vote. So that was their alternative.
100%.
Now, but the problem is, and Republicans never would have voted for him because he was a Democrat. But Republican conspiracy people love RFK Jr. because he's a conspiracy guy.
Yep.
He's also an anti-vaxxer.
God.
He's one of those types. So, like I said, he was never a Democrat to begin with, as far as I'm concerned.
Let's not pretend that MAGA invented idiotic conspiracy theories. No. They are just the latest group to be, and maybe most successful group ever, to be corralled and focused based on their conspiracy theories. These are people that do not fully understand rational thought. Now, I don't know anything about if RFK Jr. is truly intelligent or if he's an absolute shithead. But if you believe conspiracy theories, there is something wrong with you. What? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Where did this?
I had this drawn up for the other day. I'm sorry. This is MAGA logic, okay? So you got a theory, and then there's no evidence. And then there's still no evidence. The fact that there's no evidence must be a cover-up.
Yep.
Which then proves the theory. And then you just start the cycle all over.
100%.
That's how they think.
Their brains work by saying, man, dragons must exist because we haven't found the bones for them yet. So they still must be out there. Like,
and the earth is flat.
But like to say that, the earth is flat. Well, it's to say that COVID is somehow genetically targeted to attack one racial group or another, I hate to break it to you, Mr. RFK Jr., you do not have the educational background to even form that sentence with any confidence.
No.
You don't know what you're talking about. Stop.
He's not even the worst one.
No.
Jim Caviezel, who was recently in that movie that exploited, the child sex trafficking and whatever.
There's Mules.
Sound of
or
Bullshit.
The other one? Yeah, Sound of Bullshit. Wait,
Sound of Freedom. That's what
there
it was.
There it is.
He thinks that the government has the capability to genetically engineer a virus that targets one person. He thinks that they can put this virus and genetically engineer it to just Jim Caviezel and put it into the air duct, and then he'll die of a heart attack.
The beauty of that theory,
I swear to God, this is what these people think.
If he drops dead, to them it will be true because they require no evidence. They require at best, hearsay. That's it.
That's
I think that guy said that. That must be true.
Yeah. But I don't understand in the day of fact checking and verification. I mean, for crying out loud, just use Google. It's so easy to fact check yourself now. If you see something on the internet and it sounds insane, Google that. If you don't see any actual news articles about it from the major news networks, it's probably bullshit. Yep. It's not that freaking hard to fact check. But the problem is we have propaganda networks dedicated. I mean, Fox News is the most watched and trusted, I swear to God, trusted news network in the United States. That blows my mind in itself. And to me, it kind of shows the caliber of people that we're working with in this country. But that's a whole other episode. Yeah. So we have these networks, and now we have Twitter. We have Truth the Lie Social. I don't even like calling it by its real name. And then you have other ones like Reddit and Substack or whatever the hell they're called, dedicated to nothing but like we do, like here on our show, we do fact-based opinions.
We do our best to do that.
Right. I mean, these people are literally making stuff up out of their heads or something they saw in a movie or something they heard. You know what I mean? Or somebody said at work or something, and they're going, oh my God, this must be true. Well, without fact checking any of it. It's gotten so far, and it's gone so far unchecked, because to me, Fox News should be shut down by the FCC. They're not a fucking news network. No. Stop calling it Fox News. Faux news, maybe. You know what I mean? That would be a better term, but calling it a news network is a disservice to actual news networks.
You know, we've both kind of brought up the idea that they don't live in reality, or maybe they can't even distinguish reality, right? Maybe they're watching movies and thinking it's reality. But that's more true than I think we initially thought when we were saying it in jest. Look at how much they're about the red pill, right? They all think that like the Matrix and is real and all this. That was a trans allegory, you moron. So the things that you're basing all your conspiracy theories off of is something that you fundamentally hate. So it just shows they can't even think rationally about their irrational stuff. I don't know how a brain like that works, right? Like, I like to think if I have a question or an idea, I hope that I could confirm it or find the truth if that's not the truth. But they aren't even capable of piecing together facts and like following through with a logical argument from point A to B to C. They can't even remember the alphabet. These people are absolutely nuts. Forget the tinfoil hat. It's all about the computer monitor, right? Honestly, these people are staring at their phones, their laptops, and they think they're seeing the Matrix, and all they're seeing is propaganda. That's it.
Honestly, this is kind of how I feel the whole country is going right now. This is the state of our government. I'm going to play this clip. It's a little surprise clip for you, Mike.
Oh, great.
I understand everyone shit's emotional. Listen up.
Congress, 2023.
Fix everything. Number one.
Break it down, Camacho.
We got this guy not sure. Number two, he's got a higher IQ than any man alive.
I've seen this movie so many times, like I probably recited.
He's gonna fix everything. I give you my word as president. He'll fix the problems with all the dead crops. He's gonna make them grow again. And that ain't all. I give you my word. He's gonna fix the dust on the street.
This is gonna be the House vote tomorrow.
I wish President Camacho would come up and do this right now.
All right. I'm gonna watch the movie finally. I promise. I will watch the movie.
You still haven't seen this movie? Look, it's called Idiocracy, but I call it The Prophecy.
Yeah,
because it's literally like even the Crocs back in 2006 when they made the movie. I think it's Mike Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it? I believe it was him that did the movie. He thought Crocs were so ridiculous, and it was before they got popular. He's like, these shoes will never ever be popular. I'm going to use them because they look ridiculous. I'm going to use them in this movie.
Yep.
And then now look, everybody's got Crocs.
They just put out
hilarious
Croc cowboy boots, like, and I think they're serious.
You've got to watch that movie. Anybody out there that has not seen Idiocracy, it's from 2006, so 17 years ago, and you're going to see so many similarities of what's going on right now between that and MAGA. Now watch that movie and then go watch Trump supporters being interviewed, and you tell me if we're not living in an idiocracy at the moment. So
that is brilliant.
Yeah, I just wanted to end the show with a little bit of laughter there. So
need it.
Any final words, Mike?
Oh, crap. Well, let's see what happens tomorrow. They're going to vote again. Jim Jordan, man, I hope he loses by even worse. He is not going to gain votes. I mean, he might.
He's not.
Let's hope Trump violates his gag order. And that's really
a given.
Yeah, that's a given. And honestly, from the bottom of my heart, let's just hope people stop dying in the Middle East. I know I feel like I'm an 80s freaking infomercial, like Hands Around the World, but goddamn, I'm sick of seeing this shit on TV. And I'm not saying that because it's offending me. I'm sick of seeing it because people are freaking dying and suffering, and it sucks. So let's hope.
Let's hope, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for coming on for our second episode. This was actually a really fun episode. It was good. The last one. We will be putting out more content, so please don't forget to like and subscribe. This month, we're kind of just putting out a couple episodes here and there just to get our footing, get our flow, and then after that, we're going to hit the ground running. So we appreciate all the support. Subscribes are free. Duh. There's no reason not to subscribe. Every click helps with the algorithm.
Yep.
And also, I just wanted to add just the final thing before we go, that progressive media outlets on YouTube are being attacked. David Pakman actually is in jeopardy of losing his channel, which is, I believe, 14 years old and has almost 2 million followers, which he's one of the very few to have that many followers. And he's being attacked relentlessly by Fox for supposed copyright violations. So to me, it shows a couple things, that the bigger networks are scared of us. They're scared of what we do because we tell the truth. We don't bullshit and sugarcoat everything. But they do have more power than those of us without funding. You know what I mean? So they have the money. So just like I said, every click helps, every subscribe helps, and we are just getting warmed up. So I love you all. Let's hope for peace in the Middle East once again. Let's hope it's permanent this time. And hear from me and Mike, just have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.